Alright, I'll take a note. Just right off the hop. It's good to see where they're at. See, if I was walking in the area, for them, they've been recruiting everybody. I'm sure they would pick me up on the roster. Wouldn't take much common sense to do it, just because they're picking up little ladies, and as long as I can do that, she can do other things instead of, you know, anything else, especially when you can pick them up, put them on the crew, and they start listening. Well, hopefully I'm in that kind of a market for what does, so. You know, if you were a soldier sent over here, there's a communication to M&N. To M&N. What happens next inside of there is FMA, if in the area. Set, this is a multi-domain battlefield, right? This is not just this, there's going to be some crypto, banking, this is a weakening of structure, not just... See, you're not thinking about just kids and units that hold things and can't physically hold it there. It's a tank sitting out eventually that's just always going to be bad unless you keep moving it on a system, you try to hold a town, eventually they're going to pin it in on you. So you'd have to weaken across the board to a multi-domain battlefield, start attacking the carrot gold into the system, you know, get it out to the kids in the classroom, pack it the unit, get it down to X, Y, and Z before you start cutting it down into 2 parts, 3 parts, you know, it's still dark matter, globular, smooth, radiant of the math monster. So inside of here, again, you are looking at a unit, but you don't know. Troops moved out, that's gone. You know, you could write that up to so many different multi-world units to get it out there. Kids that stole it off the Nephilim, you could get military units to do that hardening, softening stuff. Misprojections, as much as the trajectory of one of those things being on it with operators, but being too far out potentially on it, because that's the IMA for the one Stone Boot of Monument, which is the rebuild or the teardown. The teardown into the rebuild of the one Stone Boot of Monument build.
16 rocket strikes and 5 air strikes were carried out from the north. In the afternoon, rockets continued to be fired
from here, this is somebody's job on the tread docks. That's got to be what it is most commonly, you know, because what we're looking at is something we haven't seen before. I need that perspective, point of view from here, which is X in any standard. So the differential to overset the security becomes an MOS of job details to watch a town, to make sure that the log crew can keep going, that the farm can keep going, because diversified inconsistency in that, not real great for bones. Figuring out the equities and the cost against gold, a derivative U, derivative X for an air turbulence equation of this conversation. So those are the general wordings there, if you want to use derivative and derivative. So, this just being the Putin, I don't know who did it, doesn't matter, it could have been Putin that designed it. It just doesn't matter to me, it just plays real good with the timeline. We're going to put a pin in it right there. And you'd say this is off the farm for lots of reasons, right? The equipment's too much for what they're doing inside here, but you also have X differentials potentially in both these places, none of these places, and of course America's a hot damn mess. About why? They're going to tell me, if in the simulator today this one house did things, how do I know they're doing that? I know Biden's kid was smoked cracks that's in his pipe and he didn't sue nobody for slander.
The overall picture that emerges after 85 hours is very disappointing for the Russians.
Multi-domain battlefield, against which system does, and the answer's still the same. You just gotta shake out a unit, like, well, I don't care if it was the Fox military guys, come off the service. You know what this is. I'm gonna shake you out real good, because that's that unit design of not operating correctly to this system of somebody who's doing it and telling you, if I watch you do it, I can show you how to adjust for it in one set, right? You know, pick it up MS-13, well, it's not necessarily your drug trade, it's how you're handling the friction of the drug trade that's catching someone well. Difference like walking the cop. Which group, that area, this one here, what do you have most problems with? I can talk to both of them, but be out. It certainly take off some of the heat, right? Do it. Get one that can. Figure out the first one. Sneak one in there. Sneak one in there. It's up, 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 down, down, up, and down, down to how you get the information as much as how you should have, and therefore will have to operate against that standard. There's very specific math.
This is all reflected in the heavy losses and
again, the training system inside here is still going to go to what that model is. In anybody's office, you would just say, figure a chaplain, a lieutenant, or something to kind of deal with it. or the reasoning why you send a private to a lieutenant is base tone or specialty right off the hop, instead of being beat up like this. A lot of brain trauma could be, you know, a prion.
Head of the U.S. State Intelligence Committee wrote today that Russia's plan for the war was as follows: air domination in the first 12 hours, annihilation of Ukrainian command centers in 36 hours,
built it firstly, and if you did, it would be the maintenance crew.
Cutting of the Eastern
Put
Army,
it all down. We all know it, and every single inch. So there was the miner's pit, right? And if you treat them wrong, you did something that's just some landscape. You did something nice. You got a lawnmower, spackle, fucking everything you need, bro. Outstanding.
We are also entering a phase when the Russians will be running out of supplies on the front line. And if lines of communication with ammunition, food, or fuel are interrupted, they may experience difficult times. Nonetheless, it must be remembered that the Russians still have a large firepower advantage in store. Its use would have been recommended to the Russian commanders, as is also shown by the words of the aforementioned Rubio. He wrote a disturbing message this morning, saying that Russian commanders should think very carefully before following the orders they recently received.
They gotta be complacent with the white picket fence and stuff. It's like if you start tipping it in that market for casino when everybody had a Mr. Happy Birthday come around, you get hit with a cattle
prod. Before the
war,
it was primarily Washington that warned that the invasion is coming all the time. And this is also what happened.
All the time.
The Russians continue to commit heinous acts.
It's a little bit more aggressive about how we're a simulator and Bob here.
Meanwhile confirmed that the Ukrainian kindergarten was attacked with a cluster munitions. The anonymous attack on servers in Russia and Belarus continues. The Kremlin website and the websites of the Ministries of Defense of Russia and Belarus, among others, are still down. Also, there have been reports of a hacking attack on the ICT systems of Belarusian railways to slow down the arrival of a new Russian unit and make it difficult to send transports with logistical security to combat areas. Two additional events also signaled that the things were getting hot in Moscow. Firstly, Vladimir Putin pulled the
that big brother instead of watching Zelensky's in charge of that thing. I'm sure he'll be way happy.
Deterrent force to a higher state of readiness.
Secondly, after initially
conflicting information, it was established that the Kremlin had proposed peace talks to be held on the Belarusian-Ukrainian border.
This is how you smoke. This is how you destroy Putin, right?
Talks is yet unknown.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Although the Ukrainians are not under any illusion that they will bring immediate peace. Even though
you even blink sideways right now.
Above all, nuclear signaling is a sign of weakness. If, after 4 days, theoretically, the words second military power, fighting against a much less well-equipped and the smaller Ukrainian army,
pick Preston, or well, not problem, something in that department for press secretary.
And this is how it is perceived by experts in the field. Perhaps this is
a Russian diplomatic attempt
theirs,
it's on the
to escalate to de-escalate.
You would hope it would right there. And okay, that's fine. So what are we doing with it, Grandpa?
Like, at the negotiating table later. The nuclear signaling is probably also the result of the reaction